So, Strizer Maniacs, not to be cheesy, what do you want to talk about? WrestleMania. Let's go over the match card, let's go over the winners and losers, and let's look at the future of WWE, which looks very bright as of right now. Let's get into it. Alright, so WrestleMania Night 1 due to the cold, I think, due to the weather, it just didn't feel like a good WrestleMania day. There was great matches in there. My favorite match would probably be, obviously, the main event, but other than the main event with The Rock and everything that happened there, I gotta say it was the tag match. Like, that tag match was amazing. And usually I'm not big on the tag match, and it never occurred to me what, like, the way that they would break up the tag titles. I'm like, wait a minute, they're on two different things, not together. That's genius. It's funny, I was watching it with my brother, and he's like, hey, look, they're going to split up the tag belts. And I'm like, oh, that's a genius way to do it. Because if they were all in just one ring, then we still have one tag team champions. What excites me about this, and it's been lacking ever since the Usos unified, well, they didn't really unify them, but they won both tag belts, however long ago that was, there hasn't really been a tag team division ever since. Kind of died when the Usos combined those belts. I mean, the New Day is still around, the Viking Raiders, one of them is injured, Alpha Academy. There's not really a lot of tag teams, and tag team wrestling, if done correctly, it's exciting, it's fun, and it hasn't really been fun for a very long time. Like, the Usos are amazing. They pretty much own the tag division while they're there. But I'm talking about, like, the days of Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys, the Hardys, the freaking Legion of Doom. Like, they don't do the tag team division like they used to. And the fact that they split them up so we get multiple tag team titles now, one on both shows, it's awesome because it means we might finally have a tag team division. They have the talent for it. Now let's see what they do with it. And I really hope those titles get a redesign because they were cool when they first came out, but they have looked like that for way too long. We need unique, new, awesome tag team titles. And the entire run of the Judgment Day was kind of like, I kept forgetting they were the tag champs because there is no tag team division. Anyway, so let's go through the roster, or should I say the match card, and I'll give my thoughts on each match and what that could mean for the future of this new era that we are a part of. All right, so the first match was Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Now, to my understanding and what was said on social media and stuff is that Becky Lynch had strep throat. She was sick. I felt like she was a little off, but the match itself, I thought it was pretty good. I liked the entrances and stuff like that. Rhea Ripley winning, I think, was the correct choice. I feel like Becky doesn't really need any more championships. She's reached that level to where she just can just have amazing matches. She doesn't need a title for validation anymore. She's reached that level. So that was the correct outcome, and especially since, we'll get to it, someone else won a championship from the Judgment Day. It's a good move to keep the belt on her. All right, next on this, and I'm going by the SmackDown Hotels match card here. This isn't necessarily the correct order or anything, but this is how they have it listed. WWE Intercontinental Championship. Now, this match was awesome. Great match. But I feel like Sami didn't need this win for his character. It should have gone to Chad Gable, in my opinion. It would have helped him way more. Like, Sami Zayn is over. Everybody loves him. He had that huge bloodline run. He's already had the Intercontinental Championship. He didn't need this to help him boost forward. I like Sami Zayn. I just feel like if anybody was going to beat Gunther, it should have been Chad or Brock Lesnar. I know Brock didn't need it either, but I don't know. I just feel like Sami Zayn didn't really need this to move his needle forward, so to speak. So, great match. I still think that it should have been someone else. It should have been a triple threat. But they were going for the Rocky thing. Had his wife involved, had his little kid involved. had his friends like hyping him up. It was kind of like a miniature version of Cody's story, just wrapped up into that feud that they had. So anyway, great match. And then next on here is the Tag Team Championship and WWE Raw Tag Team Championship 6-pack ladder match. This was fun. This was a great match. I don't really like Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, but it's good to put a title on because they could be potential great heels down the road. But right now, they needed something because they were just like, they've done nothing. In my opinion, they're terrible right now. So they need something to move that needle back up. Because Austin Theory was on top of the mountain for someone his age because he was Vince's boy. And then once Vince was removed, they just kind of pushed him back down to the bottom where he should be and earn his way to the top. Nobody should get that free pass. I don't care if you like the guy or not. You got to earn your stripes, so to speak. So, but then the other tag team champions, which I believe was the Raw tag team champions, R-Truth and The Miz. Perfect. R-Truth has been there forever. He finally got an awesome WrestleMania moment. He's a treasure to the company. He's pinning the guy 1, 2, 3. He's like, oh, I won, yeah. He's like, no, you got to get the titles. I love that. That was perfect. I love that moment. I really hope the tag team title run is really long. They could do a lot of fun stuff with that. I'm curious what's this going to entail going forward. So, heck yeah, R-Truth is tag team champions with The Miz. Another guy, The Miz, has been there forever. He deserves it too. And I feel excitement for the tag team division, like we said when we opened this video up. I'm hyped about the tag team division again. Tag team division has been very lacking and it's been dead for a long time. I can't wait to see what they do with it. All right. Now, we're moving on to the most disappointing match, in my opinion, for the entire WrestleMania weekend. And that's Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. This match was like a super kick fest. It felt like they didn't know what they wanted to do, so they were just making stuff up in the ring. It didn't feel like they rehearsed it or anything. They just went out there and did what they did. And then it just ended. That was it. I was on my phone texting my buddy within the match, and all of a sudden it ended. I'm like, wait, who won? These are two of the top performers in the company. Been around forever. And I was very disappointed with this match. To me, this was probably the worst match of the entire show. Sound off the comments below how you feel about the Jey and Jimmy Uso match. Next up is the Damage Control match. Now, I feel like this match was just thrown together for WrestleMania to make sure they all had a spot on WrestleMania. The match itself was okay. I feel like Jade should have been in it more, but it was cool letting her get the victory. And she is like a female Brock Lesnar. She is massive. She's going to destroy the women's division. And I really hope they protect her and keep her winning and at that top. Kind of like they did in AEW, where she was undefeated for 50 some odd matches before she finally lost the belt. Hopefully they build her up to be that level of superstar. And they have enough women now in the company to where we should get like an Intercontinental US title level belt for the women's division. So you have the World Heavyweight Championship on both shows. Then you have an Intercontinental / US title for the women's division. And then you have the tag belts, which are cursed because every time someone wins those belts or does something with those belts, they get hurt. Something happens. They're cursed. But yeah, we need more championships for the women's division. We have plenty of them now. Why not? Anyway, overall, I think the match was pretty good. I just wish Jade Cargill got to shine more. Now, the LWO match. This is a match where I love Rey Mysterio. I like Dominic. I like all these guys, but I don't know. I just felt like I haven't been invested in the Santos Escobar match. The whole feud, everything with it. And having Dominic fight his old man again, I don't know. This match was one of those matches where I just took a break. I'm glad Andrade was in it. It was pretty cool. I feel like hopefully he'll get built up more in the future because he's a great superstar. He's a great wrestler. Hopefully they do something with him in the future. But to me, this was a match that just felt like it was tossed together last minute. Now we're on to the main event of Night 1. Night 1's main event was Roman Reigns and The Rock, the Bloodline, versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. This match was long, but I liked the match. I feel like they kind of made Cody look like a little bitch in the match. But I was saying before this match even started for the past weeks that if Cody won or pinned Roman night one, he was definitely not winning that belt. So when The Rock pinned Cody, I was smiling ear to ear because I was like, he's definitely finishing the story the next night. You don't have your top babyface lose 2 nights in a row. And we'll get to that when we get to night 2. So that's night 1. I thought it had a couple of good matches. My favorite match was probably the tag match and, of course, the main event. Those are the 2 best matches. Now, on to night 2. And again, this is in the order of what they have it listed, not the actual order of the show. Night 2. The WWE Women's Championship match, Io Sky and Bayley. Bayley is a great storyteller in the ring. She got her knee hurt, and she sold it throughout the entire match. A lot of wrestlers don't do that. In the LA Knight match, supposedly he was working his knee, and he was fine. He was walking around, jumping around, being okay. You got to tell that story because it gives the crowd something like, oh no, he's hurt. Can he pull it off? Can he win? And then when he does win, you get that pop like, oh, he's so amazing. He won with a bum knee. And that's what they did for Bayley here. It's kind of an underdog story within the match. Like, she's the underdog, she's hurt, but she's fighting, and she crawled her way to win the championship. I feel like this is long overdue for Bayley. She's been championship-less for a long time. I think it's great that they made her a babyface in order to give her the belt, rather than being a heel in the company. Io Sky is an amazing performer. She's one of the best female wrestlers on the roster. This was a great match from start to finish. I love the entrance that Bayley came out, the Egyptian gimmick. That was really cool. Love the blue hair. I like this match. This match was awesome. Almost every match in night 2 was way better than night 1. Now, next up on this match card list was LA Knight versus AJ Styles. This was a great match. Good storytelling, except for LA Knight not selling his knee injury, throughout the match. Like, he was working the leg, and he was jumping around, jumping on the top rope like it was nothing. The little details sometimes kind of get away from him. But what a great way to end it. Knocks him off the ropes from trying to do a Styles jumping off the rope thing. Phenomenal form, that was it. And knocks him off the ropes, gets him in there, does his finishing move, 1, 2, 3. Great match. 2 great performers. I can't wait. I really hope they put the belt on LA Knight before it's too late, because he is in his 40s. You would never guess it looking at him, but I hope he gets the championship run before he has to retire. Next match up here is the United States Championship match. This match was freaking phenomenal. It's one of the best matches of the entire weekend. From the entrance of him driving the golf cart down there and having Orton jump on with him. That was so funny. I was laughing my butt off the whole time. And they're like, oh, no, they're just the whole storyline in that entire match, and then have Logan Paul win the match. I feel like, as much as I can't stand Logan Paul, that was the correct choice for that match, because you don't really want to put the United States Championship on Randy or Kevin. The fact that Logan I don't think he's won a WrestleMania match, has he? I feel like Logan's lost the last couple of WrestleManias. So to have him get a win is pretty good. I mean, the guy is talented out the wazoo for someone so new to professional wrestling. I don't know. I like the match. I feel like it was the correct choice to have him win. Next up, the Philadelphia Street Fight. This was kind of like it was fun seeing all the kendo sticks and all that stuff. And I don't know. I just felt like it was all over the place. I like Karrion Kross. I like Scarlett. I like all these guys, but it just felt like it was too much. Everything going on too much. The fans, you got to give them time to digest what's going on. And they kind of paced out certain things. There were certain spots in the match that were pretty good, but I don't know. It's just, hardcore match is always a crapshoot. It was cool seeing Bubba be the ref, but this match to me was, I don't know, it just felt lackluster to me. Other than that, I guess it's okay. Now, World Heavyweight Championship match. Now, this was the show opener, but this is how it's listed on SmackDown Hotel. Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Again, great storytelling. Drew McIntyre's obsession with CM Punk throughout the match almost cost him the match with Seth Rollins, allowing Seth Rollins to get in some offense, making him shine as the babyface, even though he was totally like broken from the night before and all his injuries. Great ending. Drew McIntyre wins. I popped pretty hard. I'm like, yes, he finally got the belt in front of people, even though he's a heel. And then the storytelling with CM Punk being right there and having Punk basically costing the belt when Damian Priest comes out. At that point, I completely forgot Damian Priest was the Money in the Bank guy. I'm like, oh crap, that's right. He comes out, choke slams him, boom. 1, 2, 3, Damian Priest is your new World Heavyweight Champion. That is awesome, and it's great for the storyline for Drew and Punk, because whenever Punk comes back, which might be sooner than we think, because he seems like he's healing much faster than he lets on. That's going to be a great storyline. That's going to be a great story arc for both Drew and CM Punk. And that could lead to a world title match down the line. Mark my words, CM Punk and Drew will both be champions again. Which championship? I don't know. Now, on to the main event. This match had me tear up a little bit. The storyline from start to finish, it was great how it started, where it was all about Roman and Cody. I thought there was just going to be shenanigans the whole time. No, they let Cody and Roman fight for the first about 20 minutes of the match before the shenanigans started. That was a great way to start this match. I thought The Rock would be out there. I thought Solo would be out there. I thought all this stuff would be happening right at the beginning, but no. They let them stew. They let the match go for 20 minutes before the shenanigans began. And then we had Jimmy come out, kick Cody in the face, tease like, oh, he's going to lose. Cody kicks out. Then we had Jay come out and beat up Jimmy, and it looked like he missed the tables out there. I hope they're doing all right. That was a rough looking bump they had. And then they had Solo come out, and Solo spiked him again, and he kicked out. Everybody's like, oh man, it's over. No, he kicked out. Great, like the whole time, every time I was on the edge of my seat, I'm like, oh, they're gonna screw him again. They're gonna screw him again. Nope, kicked out. And then having John Cena come out, I completely forgot that they had that match at Saudi Arabia where he spiked him to death with the Samoan spike. What a great! Oh, so it's like chef's kiss, perfect. It's like everything they've been working on this entire year came to a head, and it paid off in the most ultimate way possible. So Cena beats him up, gives Roman an AA, goes outside, puts Solo through a table, and he's celebrating. And then the Rock music hits. And if you haven't been around here for a while, The Rock and Cena had 2 WrestleManias where they fought. I believe it was back-to-back, and it's the WrestleManias, one of them, the first one where they fought, where they screwed over CM Punk to put the belt on Rock's to make it a bigger match for The Rock and Cena. So the whole reason Punk left was because of their feud, because of what happened there. So that was really cool, seeing The Rock get the better hand or the upper hand on John Cena. And then have the Shield come out. I'm like, the Shield? I thought, like everybody else, I've seen other people's videos and reactions, I thought it was also Dean Ambrose. I'm like, did they work something out? That would be awesome. No, it was Seth Rollins in Shield gear. I'm like, okay, it's a little weird, but it's mind games, right? It's mind games. Then the Rock Roman disposes of Seth Rollins, and the Rock is about to whoop Cody Rhodes once again, and then the Undertaker, the crowd freaking like lost their. I'm like, Undertaker? Even I was like, what? The freaking Undertaker comes in, chokeslams the Rock, disappears, and instead of Roman hitting Cody, this is great storytelling, and everybody's been pointing this out, but I just want to put emphasis on it myself. Instead of hitting Cody to win the match, he hits Seth because he hates Seth's guts because of that first betrayal. It's kind of like the first Batman movie with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, where the story in that movie was the Joker killed his parents, which it's not how it happened in the comics, but the Joker kills his parents, spares him, and then Bruce Wayne goes to become Batman, right? And then they end up fighting each other, and Batman's like, you made me. And he's like, well, you made me first, because if you watch the movie, spoiler, he tries to save Joker before he became Joker. He falls in a vat of chemicals, turning him into the Joker, right? So the storytelling here is that Seth Rollins created Roman Reigns, this monster, this heel that's been in control of the company or on top of the mountain for 4 years. So it was cool to see the story come to a head, and that's also like the final chapter of the Shield. Also, that was the end. Like everything came to that head, and because of that, it gave Cody a window to win the match and become the champion for the first time ever, and finish the. I know the cliche finish the story thing. Chef's kiss, amazing. Everybody comes out to celebrate, calls out everybody, and I know I saw other people point this out too, but I didn't even think about this. But this wasn't just a celebration of Cody winning the belt. This is a celebration of the end of the Vince McMahon era. So for 40 years, Vince McMahon has had his thumb over everybody, basically ever since. Ever since the first WrestleMania, all the way till now, this is the first WrestleMania without him. And you could feel it. People were happy. The wrestlers just seem more at peace. They're not at each other's throats in the back, except for maybe Punk, although it sounds like he's happy there too. It's this whole dynamic change where wrestling can be wrestling again, like it was back in the old days, before it became entertainment and obsessed with PG and all that stuff. Wrestling's starting to feel like wrestling again, and I am here for it. I can't wait to see where they go with this. I feel like the next couple months might be a little dry because they're transitioning into this new era. But with Cody leading the charge, I can't wait to see who he fights next. I can't wait to see what they do on Raw. Where do we go from here? And when it goes to Netflix, are we going to truly get a new Attitude Era or something different? Anyway, what are your thoughts on WrestleMania? I just wanted to talk about this because it's still fresh in my brain. I don't usually do videos like this, but this was probably one of my favorite WrestleManias I've ever watched. Full disclosure, I haven't watched every single WrestleMania, but what a great way to end an era. Roman, big bad heel, unbeatable heel, basically like a Thanos. They finally beat him. Cody's new champ. What's next? Sound off the comments below. Thank you for watching, and stay frosty.